Hey there everyone, Jordan here, April 10th, and I'm away from home right now. If you follow me on Patreon, you know where I'm at, and for those of you on YouTube, I'll be posting some vlogs and whatnot later this week, discussing with you where I'm at and what I'm doing. But I just wanted to check in here and at least go over the Q posts for the last few days. My video posting is going to be a little sporadic this week, but I at least wanted to get this in before too many Q posts happened and then I just get overwhelmed with trying to keep up with it all. But anyway, I'm going to start where I left off in the last Q update right here, post 1080. It says they're trying to start a war, deflection, public interest shift, public announcement, chem attack, coincidence. Obviously, this is the Syria false flag attack. Many of you have, I'm sure, put together the dots by now that why would Assad go gas his own people after Trump says he's going to pull the troops out. It just, nothing about that makes any sense unless you factor in that, well, it wasn't actually Assad that gassed his people. It was the deep state or some deep state proxies or mercenaries that were hired to pull out that chemical attack. It just makes all the sense in the world. Next post, 1081. POTUS never telegraphs his moves. Think logically. Why did POTUS announce his intention to pull out of Syria? Moves and counter moves. So POTUS announced his intention to essentially force the deep state into making, right here, like it says, a move and a counter move. And with the president announcing that, they had to quickly go into gear to pull the false flag. And of course, it was very sloppy and very obvious. Right here, Q saying these people are stupid. Absolutely. Next post, 1082, POTUS and JFK Jr. relationship. I've seen some pictures showing they were friends. I'm not sure exactly the extent or the depth of their relationship. Plane crash 1999. Of course, JFK Jr. died in a plane crash in 1999, and he was running for the same Senate seat in New York that Hillary Clinton went and won in the year 2000, the year after JFK Jr. died. Not a coincidence, folks. How can some people not connect these dots? I don't even understand. The start, not exactly sure what that start means, but whether it was the start of some operation in play by the Alliance or the White Hats, seeing this and that being the final straw. So they were going to put forth some things into motion. Not exactly sure. And then it says, enjoy this show. Right here, 1083. Signal intercept, old to new, as the world turns. And then over here, 1084, POTUS hunkering down today, situation room, meaning that some things were definitely being discussed and plans laid out for events to occur. Right here, post 1085, still on April 8th, Q posts a Wall Street Journal article, of North Korea saying they're ready to discuss denuclearization. After all these years, Q's asking. No mainstream positive media blast. Why? Well, because, of course, North Korea is a deep state proxy. If they can't use their proxy anymore as the boogeyman to scare the world with, well, their media isn't going to cover that, and they're going to move on to their next boogeyman. Who's the next boogeyman? Well, Syria, they were trying to make it. Of course, pulling the false flags there. Iran being one of the next ones. Very possible. And of course, as we'll discuss in a minute here, some of the latest news articles coming out about Iran saying that they want to look more into nuclear weaponry. Interesting timing. Russia flexing through missile tech. Of course, Russia has to put the stop on the deep state as well, so pinning them down. We started asking coincidence long ago for a specific reason. Those awake can finally see for themselves, see the true war going on, the global war, how this cabal is using their resources against not just one specific nation, but all nations, all humanity even, and it's up to positive elements from every nation and every intelligence agency to do what they can to expose and take down this cabal. Have faith, trust the plan. Up here, April 8th, post 1086, no name in Syria, no name meaning John McCain, timeline, purpose, who attended, no name panic, John McCain panicking, probably is going to use his brain cancer as a cover for him to get out of politics or avoid Scrutiny, of course, very convenient excuse for him to play victim there. 1087, you have more than you know, spiderweb. Then we get into discussing a little bit more of why John McCain was in Syria in the timeline. So right up here, Q posts a couple pictures. This one of John McCain with a bunch of terrorists, literally, the deep state proxies here, the head of ISIS, right over here, Syrian terrorists. Muaz Mustafa, man who's part of the Syrian Emergency Task Force. Q asking location, exact location. Not exactly sure where the exact location is. I know some Anons have been doing some good work digging, trying to take these pictures and look, cross-reference that between other pictures that show this business and where the business exactly is. Looks like Q went and highlighted even the drawings behind it, as you can see in this clipboard image, as opposed to this JPG, trying to get people to look at those things to find out exactly where it is. Right here, next post, pictures leaked for this very moment. Who and what is not pictured? What forces shadowed no-name contractor, special contractor? So, of course, his security detail isn't pictured in this. A lot of people are not pictured that would, of course, accompany John McCain on a trip to Syria. And what contractors? What special contractors were with him? Well, according to some people out there, and by deducing some of these Q posts, it could have been Blackwater contractors with John McCain. What was delivered? Well, chemical weapons. John McCain delivered the chemical weapons to ISIS and some of these terrorists at this exact location here. And why Blackwater is important, Q over here posting an article from Politico talking about Blackwater CEO Eric Prince being a former CIA asset, saying think double. Well, Eric Prince, of course, his sister, I believe, Betsy DeVos, is now part of the Trump administration, so he is working with white hats or alliance guys. He's working with people, trying to take down the cabal. And Q saying think double. So if Eric Prince was formerly a CIA asset, what if he figured out what some shady stuff that was going on in the CIA he didn't like? Or what if he was a double agent? Think double, Q is saying here. Eric Prince could have gotten a lot of dirt, gotten a lot of information while he was a CIA asset. His special contractors that shadowed John McCain figured out some information. So why is Q confirming this publicly, and why now? Well, to show that Eric Prince could be giving up some names and some information and stuff that is very crucial in this fight. I love this one right here. An Anon posts this picture and asks, we haven't seen this one posted yet, photographer included. Q says, we love phones. No name should know better. We love phones. That, of course, meaning that the Q team, with their resources, can basically listen in on any conversation through any phone and see things through webcams. So these guys carrying their phones with them, well, with the resources that Q has now, with the access that they have the tools that the cabal has as well, maybe even different tools too. So they can spy on the traders just as much as the traders. Well, of course, they're losing power, so maybe they can't spy quite as much as they wanted to. But Q can. These Q guys. Q posting this right here saying, knowing what you know now, watch again. This is just a link to YouTube video of Trump's speech. And, watching this again, you definitely get some different perspectives on some of the things he's saying and why he's saying them. A lot more said behind those words when you really understand. Q posting the Twitter handle right here to Muaz, the guy we were talking about a little earlier down here. Muaz Mustafa, the Syrian Emergency Task Force head right there, picture with John McCain. Well, here's his Twitter. I'm going to click on it. We'll see if it's still public. Oh, it is. Check it out. Born Palestinian refugee. He posts a lot of stuff that has to do with McCain and whatnot if you roll through his Twitter. But anyway, interesting drop there from Q. And then you can see Mr. Muaz Mustafa with some, look at that, executive director, Syrian Emergency Task Force. So, plainly obvious. It's right there. This post flags security detail background. All looking away. Trusted close proximity. Refugees who worked for U.S. House and Senate. Traitor. Let's see right here. One of the next ones I want to go over. This one. Why did Hussein protect ISIS? The boogeyman, along with North Korea. There's multiple reasons why ISIS is convenient for the deep state, but of course keeps us in fear. One of the main ones. Deep state can use it to, of course, terrorist attack. It was ISIS. Let's, problem, reaction, solution. Bring our agenda into play. POTUS, ISIS focused, destroy in 1 year. Versus Hussein, 8 years. George W. Bush, Al-Qaeda, the Taliban. How long did it take these guys to combat terrorists and to get rid of them? They never did get rid of them. Trick question. But the president, within a year, has been destroying ISIS, getting them out of Iraq, absolutely destroying them. So that's what happens when you have somebody in office that actually wants to make a difference. DC Access sold out, bring back the gallows. Fantastic. Then Q referencing this own post right here, showing all the military people saying, I didn't join the service to fight for Al-Qaeda in the Syrian civil war. Right? No more, Q says. I agree. Now we're moving on to April 9th, yesterday, talking about Mark Zuckerberg, campaign contributions, Facebook donations since April 2nd, 2018, fresh round. Pretty much people who were donating to Mark Zuckerberg through his shell company. His shell company is called, I believe, the Zuckerberg Initiative, the Zuck Global Initiative, something to that effect. But anyway, Q is asking us to track these donations that are made to shell companies such as foundations like that to see who because of course Zuckerberg is testifying today in front of some congressional leaders. So who is Zuckerberg paying off in these congressional leaders that are asking him the questions, right? It's pretty obvious. They're going to pay off the very politicians that should be prosecuting you or investigating you. Very convenient there, right? To avoid Facebook public disclosure, track congressional intake, be loud with your findings. Next one, saying follow the family, reread drops. I wonder if any of the drops paint Zuckerberg actually being related to some people within the deep state. I know a lot of people, they make they try to connect dots showing Zuckerberg being a Rockefeller, I believe. With a real name, what is it, John Greenberg, if I remember correctly. Maybe you can look more into that. I'm not exactly sure if that is true or not. I haven't seen definitive evidence. This one right here, people have power. Don't forget how to play. Together you are strong. Class action lawsuits are effective. Jack, you're next. What's Jack's secret Twitter handle? Dummy accounts to talk. Wow, interesting. What you see is limited. Think emails. Next one, you are being tracked. No Facebook account required. This is bigger than you think. So a lot of people are concerned with social media that, they're tracking our information. They have everything. So I'm just going to close my accounts. That doesn't matter. Guys, it doesn't, I'm not closing my Facebook account because it's still a very effective way to help red pill people, help wake people up. You got to understand that the corruption and the infiltration goes so much deeper than just social media. They can access your information just from routers. How many drops has WikiLeaks put out showing that the CIA hacking tools and various hacking tools by intel agencies hack directly into, it's literally put into our phones. It's not necessarily the social media apps we use, but it's literally the hardware to track data is put into devices, put into routers. So no, it doesn't matter. Don't worry, right? It's kind of counterintuitive there. Like, it's so expansive. It's bigger than you think. I have to worry, but don't worry, right? If they want your information, they're going to get it. So there's nothing to be concerned about. And honestly, what is there to be concerned about? Great. Find out what I ate for dinner last night through the pictures on my phone. It's not like I take pictures of my food, but, find all the memes on there. All the 1,000 memes are on my phone right now. Great. What's Facebook going to do with that? I'm not worried. I got nothing to hide, man. I'm an open book. Right here, 1104. Think Bridge. Google, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, central algorithm, stage how to be set. A lot of people are connecting the dot with Think Bridge to, it's slipping my mind right now. crap. Cisco. So one of Cisco's old labels used to be a bridge. Not finding any of their old labels right here through this search. Old label. Caps lock. Yeah, it's not coming up. Some Anons found it, but it used to be a bridge. And essentially what this is right now is like the third or fourth generation of Cisco's label, and it's supposed to be a bridge. So when Q says think bridge, that's what he's referring to. Like I said, the routers are compromised. So Cisco itself. Cisco could have been installed with a central algorithm, maybe a Central Intelligence Agency algorithm, an actual algorithm created by the CIA to track our data, and tracks our data through anything, Google, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever information goes through that router. Right here, class action lawsuits are very effective. 2 billion people are on these social media platforms. That's a lot of people. Global scale. Regulate or kill them? What do you want? You just want to regulate them? I could still see Instagram and Twitter being useful, right? Or you just want to kill them. Kill them off. Start fresh. Start new. I could see that being helpful as well. Granted, that'll scatter a lot of people. It'll be difficult for these communities to be made again on new social media platforms, but it's definitely doable. I'm all for regulation if, of course, the proper agency is doing the regulation and it's honest and trustworthy. Syria, hold until confirmed. Military assets on the ground locked out of GZ. I'm thinking GZ here means ground zero, so ground zero of the false flag attack. So military assets can't go in to survey the damage and to gather evidence as to what really happened because they're actually locked out of ground zero. Israel strike harmed ability to prove events. So remember, when that Syria strike occurred, Israel, just a few hours later, sent in 2 jets and bombed the site, I believe where the chemical attacks happened or something around there. But Israel sent in planes and bombed the place. Clown report must be verified. Troop unwind to still occur. So what it's saying right here is that Israel basically fudged up the plans to investigate and pin this false flag attack more directly, because of course you need direct evidence when it comes to things like this, and Israel screwed it all up. Thanks, Mossad. But troop unwind still occurring, still getting the troops out of Syria. Good stuff. And an Anon right here just asked, weird that you guys can't get eyes on that area, suspect as fuck. Q saying satellite imagery, and I'm not sure what EITS, eyes in the studio? I'm not sure. That's just off the top of my head. Satellite imagery and EITS are not definitive. So, of course, we need direct evidence. You can't just go willy-nilly into all this stuff and try to prove stuff and totally mess up an operation. Q right here posting the main article on Drudge, Iran threat to restart nukes. Like clockwork, you've been prepared. Of course, Q saying Iran is next. Now, North Korea, now they're going to use Iran as their proxy. Deep State is going to use Iran as the boogeyman. Now they're restarting their nukes. Wow. Who would have thunk? Ha. Right here. Post to a Trump weekly address. California targeted. How often does POTUS retweet weekly address? April showers. Right here. RR problems, Rod Rosenstein problems. And I just saw an article yesterday discussing Rod Rosenstein and a potential impeachment for him. So in that, images, let's go over here. There we go. Impeachment for Rod Rosenstein coming out of the Daily Caller. I'm of the belief that the Daily Caller probably gets certain hints and drops from Alliance guys or maybe even the Q group. So, it's an easy way to confirm and make sure and that proper intel comes out. But impeachment for Rod Rosenstein. Q calling it out. RR problems. Been saying that for a while now. More confirmation. How much do we need? An Anon posting this long post. Q says, amazing coincidence. Military start and wall. You have more than you know. Reason we are here more. Let's see. POTUS said they broke in. Of course, referencing the Trump Tower fire of the other day. They broke in during the fire. Distraction. Wow. So maybe the fire was purposefully set and then some bad actors were able to rush in and plant evidence in Trump's lawyer's room for them to use as an excuse to go in and raid. Of course, remember, Michael Cohen, Trump's lawyer, his offices were raided the other day. So that might have been a way they got that to go forth. Interesting. Then this post, 11:13, almost done here. Did Anons ever figure out what Q meant by baby on floor, hands in mouth to start? Was this Syria false flag? Finally, chemicals learning our comms. So this post was from a few days ago. It was referencing some big pharma stuff, but then this was thrown in there. I'll go ahead and search it really quick. Right here. Here it is. So it's from the 4th. Chemicals pushed for home use cleaning, cancer, baby on floor, hands in mouth, the start. So right here, of course, it's referencing big pharma, all the freaking chemicals they put everywhere. And it's just this. And Anon is now understanding that it might not just reference big pharma, could also be referencing the false flag in Syria as well, because they did that chemical attack with chlorine. So finally, chemicals learn our comms. Q over here, simply reposting an Anon post right here. Not going to go through this one, but you can go read it for yourself. It's just not too important. It's discussing how, why Q is going about cryptic drops and questions this way, because Q can't just disclose specifics about situation or operation without violating security protocol. Obviously, that's why they have to be so cryptic. A lot of people just aren't, some of the dots aren't connecting in their heads. So this is a good post to kind of understand some things. Instead, Q drops questions and statements that leads to answers that can be understood once subject becomes public. Boom. Multiple reasons behind that. Right here, April 9th, read carefully. Cohen. Buyer at Trump Tower kills one, police say. So reading it carefully, I haven't read it too carefully. I'm not going to dissect it and while I'm on video and just waste time. But I would be interested to see how, of course, Q saying Cohen. So this Trump Tower fire, like I just mentioned a minute ago, was that an excuse to plant evidence to be used as a way to get a warrant in raid Cohen stuff? Maybe. Right here, thank you, Xi, the Chinese Prime Minister. Good start. China, CQ cancel. So, of course, looks like China embrace of foreign cars. April 8th, 2014. Interesting. That's kind of an older post. I kind of just saw these. I haven't done too much digging or been online much the past couple days to look at all of what's been dug out behind these drops. Q saying this photo's fake of McCain, Graham, and Osama. And last few posts here. This one, 11:20, clarify. Chongqing, Tuesday, demand. Xi, confirmed tariff reduction. Tuesday, China. I wonder if that's happened today. Cars, article provides foundation. Major import. Cool. Actions today, raid, in regards to Michael Cohen, will be met with swift action. FBI burning the midnight oil. Trust Sessions, trust Wray, trust Kansas, new CIA director. Trust Horowitz, trust Huber. Boom. I believe it. And then right up here, April 10th, picture, Q post, who is standing next to Pence and POTUS? Message, Bolton, cleaning house, out they go. Clean house is very important. So the people standing next to Trump and Pence, Mike Rogers, boom. And Mattis, so two of the guys. Whether they're in the Q team or not, they definitely have, I'm sure, played a part in it. Admiral Mike Rogers coming to President Trump saying that, well, I'm going to help you out with some information because I'm sick of the cabal ways. And then this one, last one, at Snowden, yes, testify then drop. I'm curious as if a certain drop is going to come out after Mark Zuckerberg testifies today. We'll see. We have it all. These people are stupid. Fireworks, President Weekly Address, end. Interesting, end. And I'll be waiting to see what he says in the weekly address. So anyway, that's it for this one, guys. I know this one might have been just a lot of reading. I don't have my notes necessarily in front of me. And like I said, I've been on the road, away from home, haven't been able to delve into too much of this stuff and read Twitter and the chans and whatnot over the past couple of days to get the background behind all this. But just wanted to go through all this with you guys, keep you up to speed, give you my 2 cents and a few dots to connect with all this. I'll be back, like I said, within the next few days with some more videos and a vlog showing you guys where I'm at and what I'm up to here. So anyway, have a beautiful day, guys. Fantastic Tuesday. Take care.